So at this point, the killers went back down the hill, jumped in the vehicle, and headed up Benedict Canyon, where they then made a right on Portola Drive. Portola Drive is extremely narrow street, so they pull up to 9870 Portola Drive, get out, and start hosing off at this hose spigot that's in the yard. Now, according to the testimony of Linda Kasabian, when they went up Portola Drive, they made a U-turn and came back down. They got out to use the hose, and first the woman that lived there came out, asking questions. Who are you? Warning them that her husband was a deputy, and they just said they just wanted some water. So
it must have been about 1 o'clock. I heard the sound of running water. So I jumped out of bed and grabbed the flashlight, and I went downstairs into the basement, opened the garage door, thinking that something had gone wrong with the plumbing. There was nothing wrong with it. I couldn't see any water of any kind. And then I heard voices on the street outside. So I went over, and here were 4 people standing. And of course you know the exact place.
Yes.
Around the corner. Well, I cannot describe the people except the boy was rather tall. The girls I hardly saw, except I knew one of them was short stature. So I put the flashlight on, and I said, "Just what do you think you're doing?" He says, "We're just getting a drink of water, and we're sorry to disturb you." Looking over the people, I figured, well, they're just teenagers out on a Friday night. Well, that I couldn't say, but from what I would guess, they were all Caucasian. The girls started walking down. Then I looked down the street and I see a car parked facing west towards the main canyon, Benedict Canyon. So they started proceed to go down the street towards the car in front of me, and I followed them. And when they got to the car, he, I believe, opened the back door to the back seat, and the girls got in. But then the dome light was on, and I happened to look inside the car, and it was all messed up and dirty and so on and so forth. Things on the floor. So they closed the door. He got into the driver's seat. So in order to scare him, I acted as if I were going to reach for the keys. And that minute, he stepped on his starter and he took off before he closed down the street.
And they made a right. Now the drive from the Cielo address to the Portola Drive address, where they used the hose, shows it being 1.9 miles away, give or take. And here we are on Portola Drive. As you can see, it's extremely narrow. If someone was coming down the street, we'd have to move for them. And it was right about in this area at this home here was where that hose spigot was. I can't really tell at this point where it would be now, or even if it's still there, but it was somewhere in this area is where Tex and the group stopped for water. And from there, they made a right on Benedict Canyon. And right about the area of 2901 Benedict Canyon, across the street from that home, they tossed the clothes over a fence down an embankment. These clothes were later found by reporters who, on a whim, they took an educated guess, maybe not a whim, about leaving Cielo Drive and how long would it take to disrobe and get rid of our clothes. They pulled off on that same dirt patch and saw the clothes well after the murders. And that's how the bloody clothes were discovered. So from that point, they continued on to Benedict Canyon Road and made a left on Mulholland and a right on Beverly Glen. Now Tex throws the gun out of the car with his left hand over the car because he was driving at this point. And from that throw, the gun is slung into the backyard of Stephen Weiss, who we talked about earlier.